Imagine this. Your best friend for 10 years, your business partner, the guy who shows up when you call for help, is the same guy who kills you. In gangster life, these are supposed to be the people you trust with your life, but as the saying goes, there's no honor among thieves. What happens when loyalty doesn't matter anymore? When money, paranoia, gang politics, or just general self-preservation become more important than lifelong friendships? This is an experience that is all too familiar in Atlanta, a city with a crime rate almost double the national average. Atlanta is home to several gangs, feuding almost constantly over the decades, and it's only getting more violent even with the nationally consistent drop in crime rate. However, today's stories aren't about gangsters clipping rivals. It's about what happens when loyalty to money goes wrong, and gangsters leave their own friends for dead, or even worse, pull the trigger themselves. This is some of Atlanta's worst trap stories. Christopher Dean was getting his life together. The 33-year-old father of two was planning one last drug deal before going clean. On October 17, 2016, his regular connect, Christopher Lockett, aka Tommy G, called him up for another marijuana transaction, 6 pounds. Same house they'd done business at before, the home of Xavier and Orlando Gibson.
Damn, clean up your motherfucking
Dean
house.
had no idea that Lockett had just discovered the transaction. 6 pounds. Same house they'd done business.
Man, nigga. Clean up your motherfucking house, bro. Ain't nowhere in the motherfucking world that your motherfucking bed should have motherfucking pee stains and goddamn and dirt on it. And I can see what a motherfucking dirt on the bed. You got dirt from the floor on your bed, bro. And I know that motherfucker ain't got no man.
Before, the home of Xavier and Orlando Gibson like on Sandy Creek Drive in Atlanta. Dean had no idea that Lockett had just discovered something about his past. Back in March 2015, Dean had been arrested in California on drug charges. Those charges, suspiciously, got dismissed in August 2016. The reason? Dean had become a confidential informant and provided investigators useful information about his marijuana suppliers. Dean's friend Brian Dye, a Gangster Disciples member, found out. Dye told Lockett, and Lockett, who'd been buying marijuana from Dean for months, decided to make an example out of his plug. When Dean arrived at the Gibson house around noon, he thought he was there to sell weed to Tommy G. Instead, he walked into a room full of Gangster Disciples members. Lockett, Xavier Gibson, Jasper Green, Quatez Clark, and Joshua Rooks. All friends, all people who decided he had to die. What happened next, according to prosecutors, represented the most horrific death in Fulton County's recent history. For over an hour, they beat Dean with 2x4s and a crowbar. They sodomized him with a handle from some long item. Then they shot him twice in the back of the head. The entire time, Dean knew exactly why this was happening. He'd broken the cardinal rule by talking to police. After the murder, Lockett paid 2 men, Jasper Green and Lamar Almon, to clean up the brain matter and blood and burn Dean's body. But when they saw the gruesome condition of the corpse, they couldn't go through with it. Instead, they stuffed his body into the trunk of Lockett's Toyota Camry and left it at the H.E. Holmes subway station. Atlanta police found Dean's decomposing remains.
Motherfucker, nigga. What you mean you couldn't go through with it? Nigga, if you kill somebody, boy, you ain't what? I mean, I don't condone in that shit, but like, you couldn't do.
On November 19th, 2016, more than a month after his murder, and all 7 suspects were arrested. Here's what's disturbing. The Gibson brothers continued living in the house with bloodstains everywhere for 30 days before police arrived. They were comfortable enough with what they'd done to just
living in that shit, bro.
In April 2019, 5 defendants were convicted. Christopher Lockett, Xavier Gibson, Quatez Clark, Joshua Rooks, and Jasper Green. All received life sentences. Lockett got life without parole. Clark got 2 consecutive life sentences plus 5 years. The others got straight life. The judge said it all came down to choices, but for the Gangster Disciples, there was no choice. Dean had cooperated with police. In their world, that meant death. Even if you were their friend, even if they'd done business with you for years, and even if you planned on leaving the life, you'd already done damage. 2 years later in Athens, Georgia, another Gangster Disciples member named Philman Deshaun Chambers, known as Dollar Phil, was hiding from police in Texas. He'd been arrested with a female gang leader named Andrea Page Browner in December 2018. She was taken into custody, but Chambers escaped. Paranoid and on the run, Chambers became convinced someone had snitched. He focused his...
If you motherfucking escaped jail and your stupid ass was in Georgia, I know something.
Suspicions on two men from Athens, Derek Ruff and Joshua Jackson. Both were gangster disciples associates who had absolutely nothing to do with law enforcement, but Chambers had already decided they were snitches, so he ordered Leslie Chapel Green, known as Grip, to kill them. Green was a member of the enforcement team, the gang's specialized unit that handled disciplinary murders. Text messages and phone calls revealed the plan. Green lured Ruff and Jackson from Athens to Lawrenceville, Georgia on December 19, 2018. He told them they were going to break into storage sheds and steal items to send to Chambers as aid and assistance while he hid from police in a gangster disciples safe house.
That shit, like, Atlanta just a big ass, we gonna motherfucker try to come up ass city. Like, man.
In Killeen, Texas. Ruff and Jackson showed up to help their guy. Instead, Green executed both of them and hid their bodies inside a storage unit. The bodies weren't discovered until March 2019, nearly 3 months later. By then, Ruff and Jackson had been reported missing. Their families had been
I was about to say, okay, at least y'all
the two men had been dead in a storage locker because a paranoid gang leader on the run incorrectly decided they'd talked.
If you got hit, even if you were not,
at least y'all was smart enough to get the fuck on. Y'all
killing them as they showed up to help him. In August 2023, a federal jury convicted Chambers and 4 other gang members of RICO conspiracy and murder. Chambers received 2 consecutive life sentences plus 10 years. During sentencing, prosecutors emphasized what this case represented. Quote, "This violent gang brutally executed one of their own and left the body on display as a warning that betrayal would not be tolerated. Except there was no betrayal. Ruff and Jackson were loyal. They were willing to help Chambers hide from police and had kept their mouths shut. And he had them murdered anyway."
Got them killed.
There are other cases, however, between independent gangsters who got their own friends killed for the worst reasons. In Northwest Atlanta, Cornelius Edwards and Billy Favors had been best friends for 10 years. Both had criminal records. Edwards had 16 prior arrests for theft, burglary, and selling marijuana. Favors had 7 felony convictions, including possession of cocaine and marijuana with intent to distribute. They'd been through everything together. It was a December 13th, 2016 afternoon, however, that would destroy their lifelong friendship. Edwards had come up with a plan to make some quick money. He was a known marijuana dealer in the area, and he decided to set up a fake drug deal to rob 2 buyers at gunpoint. He called his best friend Favors to help. 2 men, Marvin Goodman and Delvin Phillips, showed up at a residence on Holly Street thinking they were buying marijuana from Edwards. Edwards directed them to apartment 10 to complete the deal. When Goodman and Phillips walked in, they found Billy Favors waiting with a gun pointed at them. Favors tried to rob them, but Phillips wasn't going down without a fight. A shootout erupted in the apartment. Bullets flew. Phillips got shot twice, once in the arm, once in the chest, but he survived. Billy Favors also got shot twice in the chest and arm and died at the scene. Edwards' best friend of 10 years bled out on the floor of that apartment because Edwards sent him in there to rob armed drug buyers. During the investigation, Goodman and Phillips identified Edwards in a photo lineup, but the real nail in the coffin came when police recorded a phone conversation between Edwards and one of Favors' relatives. On that call, Edwards admitted he concocted the plan. He set the whole thing up. He directed the victims to that apartment. He knew Favors would be waiting there with a gun, and when it all went wrong, his best friend died while Edwards wasn't even in the room. In May 2018, a Fulton County jury convicted Edwards of murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, criminal attempt to commit armed robbery, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Judge Paige Reese Whitaker sentenced him to life in prison plus 5 years. 10 years of friendship and an entire life gone because Edwards wanted to rob 2 guys for some weed money.
Some candy money, nigga.
Gino Gerard Hall, Leon Van Summers Jr., and Miles Costin were a robbery crew. They worked together, hit licks together, made money together. On April 23rd, 2023.
Hey, bro, like, it's just a motherfucking pattern of motherfucking, you feel me? Like, and every nigga that I seen on this motherfucking video all got one motherfucking thing in common. You wanna know what that is? They look broke, dirty, they look some broke, dirty street niggas, you feel me? All of them got that same, the rough, dirty, broke street nigga, man.
The 3 of them did what they did best. Target a mobile home in Stone Mountain, Georgia. The plan was simple. Break in, rob the homeowner, who they believed was a drug dealer with cash, and get out. They forced their way into the home. The homeowner saw them coming and reached for his gun. Hall or one of the crew members shot him twice, once in the shoulder, once in the left arm, but the homeowner managed to get his handgun and fire off one shot. That single bullet hit Leon Van Summers in the chest. Hall and Costin ran, leaving Summers to die on the floor. The homeowner called a friend to drive him to the hospital. Summers' family started searching for him that night. They called his phone and Hall answered. Summers' father got on the phone and he told them everything, including where the shooting happened. At a mobile home park off Annistown Road, the same place where Summers' body was found the next day, when police responded to the homeowner's report of a home invasion. Hall's own words convicted him. Cell phone records placed him at the crime scene. Traffic camera footage showed Costin's car in Stone Mountain before the robbery and leaving afterward to head back to Barnesville. And Hall had called Summers' father from Summers' phone and admitted the whole thing. In May 2025, a Gwinnett County jury convicted Hall of felony murder, home invasion, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 5 years. Leon Van Summers died because his own crew member led him into a robbery, shot at an armed homeowner, then ran and left him there to bleed out. They were partners, but when it went bad, Hall saved himself and let Summers die alone on a stranger's floor. Miles Costin still faces trial for his role, but the pattern is clear. When these gang crimes go wrong, loyalty disappears, and for gangsters, death is a part of everyday life.
Yep. That loyalty disappear when you go in that courtroom. That loyalty disappear in the interrogation room. Or just when immense pressure get put on a motherfucker. That's when that loyalty disappear. When that pressure get put on the motherfucker and they can't handle that shit, that's when that happens. But hey, man, let me know how y'all felt about this video. Cause you know, just like I said in every other video, I'm coming with another one.
Think you